Conversational experience best practices. Hi there, customer experience community. This is Dominic. Welcome to another video. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, my name is Dominic. I'm a customer experience enthusiast and Zendesk consultant. I've been around for a decade, having a bunch of logos added to my list. We are a team of 10 people. We're all excellent. I'm very fortunate enough to work with very talented people, and I make these videos to bring you value. Now, I have to confess, this is not all my doing. This is actually a conversation that I've been having with my team members. What is a good conversational experience? So I'm going to bring forth some ideas. First idea, when should a conversation end? Or when should a session end, right? So a session in Zendesk would be essentially a ticket, right? So when does a ticket end and when do you open a new one? Some companies ask the customer to close the session themselves to consider it done. Now, as a direct con to this type of methodology is the fact that the customer can abuse this and never consider it solved. Now, this can also lead to skewed reports, because imagine if you have a continuous conversation where you can't choose a ticket property, like what kind of request this is, then you'll have very bad reports, right? What exactly am I trying to solve in this particular session with the customer, right? Am I trying to solve, I don't know, a bug request or a password request? What am I doing exactly? The pro on this is it gives you 100% accountability to ask the customer to, okay, you please finish the session whenever you feel ready. This empowers the customer, and it would work really great in an ideal scenario where everyone is well-intended. Now, as a workaround to this one, you can just solve the ticket within, for example, 1 hour. Customer doesn't want to end the session, you just end it for them, and that's it. Now, if the customer comes back after that 1 hour, then a new session can open. A new session can open, meaning a new ticket could be open, which would be great in my opinion. This is purely just my preference on it for good reporting. Right, for business decisions. You want to have good reports so you can make the right business decision, right? Either train my agents or get more agents or fix stuff wrong with my service or my product. So a new session would open, a new ticket would be open, an agent could choose what type of ticket this is, the next one, and you'll be able to have good reports. Another conversational best practice of when does a session end? Well, you can have a 3-strike session, meaning customer comes to you, says, hey, I have a problem. Agents start interacting, they go on and they have a continuous conversation, and at some point, you know, life happens and the customer has to drop off because they have to pick the kid up from school, because they have to have lunch, because they're entering a call. You know, life happens. Consider the session, for example. I like this one. Why? Because you have the conversation, then another step comes like, hey, are you still there? After 15 minutes. Okay, they might not be there. I don't know, they're gone. Then you have another bump where you say, hey, are you done now? Are you still there? Right? And you have this after another 15 minutes. This can be an automation. Now, at any point, if the customer comes back, then, you know, the conversation can still continue, and it would pop up in the agent's view, and they can continue the conversation. After 2 bumps, the third one would come in and actually solve it and say, hey, yeah, thanks. It seems that you're no longer available. We're just going to solve it for you. I think this one is fair. I like it a lot because a session would end. It would be fair. You'd be accountable to your customer and ask them for actually termination. If they don't come back, well, of course, you know, you have to end it. When does a session end? Number 3, solve the ticket within 1 or 2 minutes if of inactivity. Oh my God, this one I hate. I absolutely dread. This one is being done by all the big players out there who are potentially, you know, running teams, and everything has to run clockwork, and the products are really big, and they don't really care about the customers anymore, or they don't get involved, you know, to solve the actual requests. So if you're, for example, I don't know, just stepping out, just changing your browser window for a quick second until the agent connects with you, they just come in like, oh, you're not here, and they end the chat. The pros of this are, it's good for the customer service metrics. Oh my God, management is going to love having these reports. So good, such a good response rate, such a good solve rate. Oh my God, amazing. But the customer, does the customer feel heard? I don't know, man, not really. This is not really a good one. This is not really my favorite, but it is being used. I understand why it is being used, because working for a decade within this domain, I kind of started to understand why these companies are doing it the way they're doing it. I'm not justifying it, quite the opposite actually. I dislike it a lot, but it is what it is. You can always find an alternative. All right, number 4 is keep conversation open with multiple ticket types. In this example, you have a conversational experience. It goes on and on and on, you know, without ever interrupting, and then you have one continuous ticket for a customer. Imagine a customer reaches out to you, a ticket is being opened, and that ticket is dedicated to that person like forever. Sounds weird, doesn't it? I mean, it makes sense, right? In an ideal scenario, you just have one ticket for that one customer, and you know, that's great. You have 1 million customers, 1 million tickets. Great. But that doesn't really help, does it? Think about reports. So sometimes I come to you as a customer and I will have a problem with your product. It's a bug. Then I need an invoice. Then I need an upgrade to my account. Then I have a technical issue that I don't know how to sort out. So that's like 4 types of ticket requests that I would have to choose. From an agent experience, I would have to choose 4 different types of reasons why this person reached out. And I wouldn't even know which one is the most recent, or it would be very hard to follow which one is the most recent. In a way, it encourages simplicity, but in another way, it doesn't really help with simplicity because it just adds confusion when the customer reaches out again, right? And if somebody's actually really mad, you have to go in and scroll, and just scroll and scroll. Anyway, you get the idea. There's a lot of scrolling and figuring it out, a lot of agent wasted time. So wasted agent time, which you don't need. Nobody would enjoy doing this, deep dive into a customer's case. So that's why I think it's a little bit better to have different sessions and them ending in a session, meaning a new ticket being open. All right, so now I'm going to just continue with some random best practices for conversational experience. So always be transparent, always say that this is a bot, give it a name, make it personal. Always try to solve simple things with your bots, because this is part of a conversational experience, right? You first greet the customer with a bot, say, hey, I can help you with these things, I'm a bot, I can help you with these things. And then if they don't need that, they need something more intricate, they can just say, I need to talk to an agent. You let them know, another best practice, talk to an agent in order to get in touch with an agent. So another best practice. Now a session can have a soft and a hard end. Conversational experience, soft end. Agent solves the ticket and then a survey is sent. All good, right? You get either a positive or a negative, or I don't know, however you customize your feedback collection. If a conversation needs to still continue, the customer can say thanks, or can say, actually, I have another problem, and the ticket will remain with the same agent. Now, a hard ending to a ticket would be a ticket is being closed and no more updates are being possible. Further text from the customer would open a new ticket or would initiate a new bot flow. Now, the customer, depending on what they choose within this bot flow, this new bot flow, they would be redirected to a new agent. This is not ideal. Now, in a soft end, an agent would solve the request manually, and that's it. Very good. In a hard end, an automation would solve this ticket. Okay, these are some thoughts on conversational experience. What are your thoughts on this? I'm sure you have great ideas. This has been a quick update on my end on this. I'm going to keep making videos about this because, again, it's a new topic, and it's an ongoing thing where we learn and we bring forth what we learn and we try to find the best way forward. Now, there's of course many choices that you can make based on where your company's at and what resources you have available. Some hard decisions to make based on maybe my tonality. You were able to pick up on the ones that I like more and the ones that I like less. I hope this brought you value. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.